Hi, morning Timsy, how are you?
Morning, Prabodh. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. My voice is coming out fine?
Perfectly fine.
Okay, great.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, Jeremy, we can hear you. Yeah.
Great. And it looks like Rajshri is there. You can see her okay?
Yes, we can see Rajshri pretty okay. Yeah, I think we can see the work part of it. Yeah.
Rajshri,
Prabhu,
can you put the elephant just below the ink pad so that we can see the finished product?
Yeah, Timsy, you were about to say something.
yeah. So, Prabodh, as I start, I'll introduce you. You want to introduce Jeremy or you want me to introduce Jeremy? How you want me to go ahead?
I think it will make more sense if I introduce Jeremy because otherwise my presence is not needed at all.
I felt that's the reason I asked you. So what I'll do, I'll introduce you and I'll hand over to you, and then you can continue introducing Jeremy and your team.
Sure. Jeremy, a quick introduction of Rajshri and Sagar, is it?
I'm not who. That Sagar is not from our team.
Okay, so he is from ADW team then, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he's from ADW team.
Okay.
And Prabodh, about the questions, whatever I receive, I will send you in the chat box. So you can be a part of, if I get any questions in chat Q&A and all. So I'll just do word of thanks in that case at the end.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
So I'll just start sending any Q&A sessions, questions to you. You can.
Okay, we will take it up anyway at the end of the session.
Yeah, you take a decision. I mean, however you want to take it up, what you want to take it up, you take a decision. I'll just send it to you privately. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So I'll do word of thanks. I'll introduce you and then you take over the whole session, right?
Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. So as we start, we may start around 12. Okay. So once everything is set, I will inform you.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Rajshri, can you put the elephant at the bottom of the printing camera? Yeah, perfect. That looks great. Yeah, it can be down closer to the bottom of the screen.
Prabodh, there is some technical issue in broadcasting. So they told that instead of 12, it may be 10 or 15 minutes later. I'll inform you. I think it is getting a little bit delayed by 10 minutes because of some internet issues with broadcasting. It was since last 30 minutes actually.
Okay, no worries. I think since we're all here, so we'll continue to be here and
Sure.
once we begin, right?
Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Jeremy, is the logo, will the logo work or it won't? Because it's not working at my end. You're on mute.
Yeah, is that only available on laptop or?
No, it's available on mobile as well. Once you, where there is a camera icon, I think you can see, just click on the drop down signal of stop video.
Yes.
Yeah, and there would be an option called choose virtual background.
No, there's no drop down on my video icon.
Okay, there's no drop down on your video icon, then maybe it does not work from a mobile. That's possible. Okay, leave it, no worries. Anyway, it was not working at my end because my background is not suitable for a virtual background. There's a poster in the background. So we'll work without the logo, no problems.
You emailed me the.
Yeah, I emailed you the logo, 2 JPEG files.
All right, let me just sign off and sign on.
Sure.
Prabodh, hi.
Yeah.
I'm Rajshri. This is
Hi, Rajshri. I didn't get the name of the gentleman over
Anup.
there.
He's our
Anup.
artist in Bagru.
Okay. So Anup and Rajshri.
Correct. And we have Sushila ji who will be demoing the stitching part.
All right, yeah. हाँ वो नहीं लगता WhatsApp पे ही लगता है. Just give me a second, yeah.
Yeah, take your time.
I'm sorry, Rajshri. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is. I'll just take a quick word, Rajshri, and then there is. Can you repeat the name of the gentleman again?
Anup.
Anup. Yeah.
He'll be demonstrating the printing.
Okay. Bagru
And
Karigar. Bagru artisan. Yeah.
yeah, and there is Sushila ji.
Yes, Shushila ji. Yeah.
And she's doing the stitching of the toy.
Stitching, right. Okay, so that is it. And you're the head designer, I assume.
I am the studio manager.
Studio manager. All right. Okay. Studio manager. Right.
Testing.
Did you get that option for virtual background?
Yeah, now I choose virtual background. Here we go.
Okay, so that's news to me as well. I was not aware that it doesn't work in mobile format. It only works in the computer format. No.
Wow.
No. You look like a character from Avengers. No, not working. Won't work.
Why not? It's a plain wall, right?
No, but I think it works best with a green background,
Oh, yeah.
kind of a thing. So no, I don't think it will work. So let's drop that. No.
So trippy.
No, it's not gonna work, I
No,
guess.
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Yeah.
Rajshri, maybe you can turn the print screen camera sideways, or it doesn't allow, your tripod won't let you do that.
Sideways as in landscape?
Yeah, landscape.
I'll see if I can. Yeah, I don't think.
And
Yeah,
maybe you have to unlock your landscape setting.
no. I think it's best to keep it like that.
Okay, that's fine, no problem then.
ये वाला दिखा है?
Can you scoot it back just a little?
Better?
If possible, maybe a little more so we can see some of the ink pad. Yeah.
Keep the ink pad here once he starts.
Oh, okay, got it, got it.
ये इधर सर्च आएगा ना, जो प्रिंट करेगा.
So Jeremy, you're gonna talk for 5 minutes or so, is it? Or maybe a little longer?
No, it'll be very less. I want to try to save as much time for the printing as possible since it's just 1 hour.
Yeah, and Rajshri would be narrating that entire
Yes.
sequence. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So you'll introduce me, and then
Yeah.
I'll introduce, Studio Bagru, Rajshri, Anup, Sushila.
Okay.
Then Rajshri, you'll do a quick overview of the setup, the table, the ink pad, the blocks. Then you show the materials, the thread, needle, design cutout.
Right.
And you can mention that after the workshop, the template will be available on the Studio Bagru website.
Okay.
Or is there some place we can have it available, Prabodh, online that would be more convenient?
No, you can keep it at Studio Bagru website, and also say that it will be available at Swarnim Institute of Design website as well. Yeah.
Great, yeah. And then you'll proceed with the steps.
Right.
Roger, you have the steps document that I sent you?
I'll open it right now.
Just for reference. I'll be there as well to help guide, but you'll show the finished product. You can mention how it can be as filled out as possible if you want it to be, or it can be as simple as possible. Then you go through the materials, the printout, tailor chalk, fabric, needle, thread, stuffing, block, ink, newspaper, iron, hairdresser, 2 buttons, and then start with the steps.
Right.
You have the stuffing there.
Yeah, we got cotton from Bagru.
Great. So maybe you just put all of the materials on the table.
Right. ये ब्लॉक लगाएगा ये धागा रख दे, बटन रख दे, कैंची और रुई.
Prabodh, this will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards, so we'll have a link or?
Yeah, we'll have a link. It's a live streaming anyway, and we'll get a link at the end of it as well. Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
is that okay?
Yeah, that looks great.
तो काम तो उधर से कपड़ा हटा के ही रख दे.
वो दिख रहा है.
तो ये वाला मैं इधर से काट दूंगा. जो सेटअप दिखाना पड़ेगा.
So how are things there?
Everything's good here.
Okay.
Today marks the 1 month away from our marriage.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, just kind of in the marriage lockdown.
Oh. So quite in the zone. I think last 1 month it becomes, but obviously due to slightly concealed social, no, you can say social setup. Now I guess it's easier.
Hello, Prabodh.
Yeah, hi, Telsey.
We will be live now, so I'll just, once they say yes, I'll start.
All right, perfect. Yeah.
And we'll keep our microphones on mute when we're not speaking.
Okay. Can you? आपकी पूरी स्क्रीन ऐसे करो ना Welcome again with the first workshop of day 3 of ADW. We have here Pramod Mishra from Swarnim Startup and Innovation University. Prabodh Mishra, who is an international fashion marketer and educator with over 10 years of experience in the realm of fashion. He heads the Department of Fashion at Swarnim Startup and Innovation University with a sparkling career that started off with bagging the most commercial viable graduation project at NIFT. He has worked with top fashion brands across Europe and Asia, while also working on path-breaking social projects in the field of fashion. I request Prabodh to introduce Jeremy as well as the workshop called Stuffed Toy Making. Welcome, Prabodh.
Thank you, Timothy, for the kind introduction. And now, straight away, without wasting much time, let me go ahead with introducing Jeremy Fritzhand. I think he really needs no introduction when it comes to his contribution to Indo-American design venture or lifestyle designing. But yet, I guess he won't be very happy if I don't give him one. So let me just start. Jeremy Fritzhand is one of the biggest names in Indo-American lifestyle designing, and he's a global entrepreneur who is one of the prime social justice warriors, using fashion as an instrument for social justice. And lately, he's endeavored his efforts into other aspects of lifestyle design as well, right? Ecotourism, like toy design, etc. And that is why when at Swarnim Startup and Innovation University, we were given the opportunity to present a toy design workshop, we thought that Jeremy will be a perfect fit for it. So Jeremy is coveted by National Geographic magazine as one of the most responsible designers in 2020, which is a great achievement because we were not at our best in 2020. So kudos to Jeremy for that. And he has also been honored by Outlook magazine for his contribution of ecotourism in India. And one of the biggest, you can say, achievements of Jeremy is his establishing of a successful cooperative model in the realms of Indian tribal craftware or Indian tribal craft application. So I think Studio Bagru is based out of both USA and Jaipur. Jeremy shifts his time in both the countries. It's retailed across different places, different continents. And without further ado, I guess over to Jeremy. And Jeremy, I think you will be a better person to give a brief of this workshop than myself, since you're the one who is totally sunk his teeth into this endeavor, right? So over to you, Jeremy.
Thanks so much, Prabodh. And thank you so much to Swarnim University for helping to bring us to the Ahmedabad Design Week. Big thanks to Ahmedabad Design Week for putting together this amazing virtual event and giving the platform for artisans from Bagru to feature their amazing craft of hand block printing. Myself, I'm Jeremy from Cincinnati, Ohio, USA. I first landed in Bagru 10 years ago on a Union College Minerva Fellowship, which was awarded to me in order to promote the craft of block printing and help connect the artisans of Bagru to designers and retailers around the world. Our company, Studio Bagru, has the mission to encourage grassroots entrepreneurship and encourage independent businesses in Bagru amongst the home-based artisans. We're partnered with Mr. Anup Chipa, who's a fourth-generation hand block printing artisan. And we are also working with our studio manager, Raj Puri, who's going to be coordinating the making of the toy, as well as Sushila Chipa, who will be assisting in fabricating the printed fabric together. So we came up with this idea under the topic of the Design Week, Toying with Design, as a way that those at home can experience handblock printing as well as toy making. And so, as I mentioned, Rajshri will be assisting in this workshop. And so now I'll hand it off over to Rajshri, Anup, and Sushila to begin the workshop. And if you have any questions, please feel free to enter them into the chat, and we'll be watching over those and reply to them throughout the workshop.
All right. Hi, everyone. I don't see the participants, so I don't know if everyone can hear me.
Yeah, I think everybody can hear. They're live on the YouTube.
All right, great. So we're gonna start with the setup here that we have for block printing, and then we'll see how we've set up the table, how we're gonna set up the ink tray, and then I'm gonna take you through the steps of making the toy, printing, and stitching it. So if you see on the printing cam there, you'll see that our table has been set up. All right. So the table has been set up with 2 layers of a heavy rug fabric that we put on the table. This will help protect your furniture, and it will help absorb the shock that you get when you print the fabric. And
We'll
then
just
we'll
move
put
the camera a
the
little bit to the
achara
right so
fabric
we
on
can
it.
see under
And
the
this is just something
fabric.
that is traditionally put onto the table when they're printing in Bagru. So what you can do is, if you don't have these rugs available readily, what you can do is put yoga mats or folded up cardboards or old bed sheets, etc., and cover your table. And then cover it with a bed sheet and put your fabric on top. For the printing tray, we have this plastic tray here that will pour the color in. This is a metal frame with nylon strings around it, and this acts as the stamp pad. We'll pour the ink so that it touches right at the bottom of the stamp pad. Then we'll put a piece of jute fabric on top, and this regulates how much color gets onto the block. And if it's a very fine design, if it's a very fine block, then we'll put another layer of fabric on top, so as to regulate the color even more. Okay, so we have the tray, color tray ready over here. I'm going to show you. And this has the jute fabric on top, and the color is reaching just till the top of the metal frame. This is the fabric that we're going to print on. And these are the things that you will need to make your toy. So this is a cutout of an elephant. You can cut out any other animal that you like. You can do bears or anything. And this has just been printed out and cut out on a thick paper. And this is the ear of the elephant. We have needle and thread. We have some cotton for stuffing. If you don't want to use cotton, you can use scrap fabric or anything else. Scissors, a pen or a piece of chalk. We have this block that we'll be printing with. And that's it. We're ready to begin. So now Anup will start the printing. He will show you the first steps that are required. The first step that he'll do is to brush the block with a hard bristle brush, and this takes off any dust or old color that's there on it, and that is the first step that he'll do.
First, we need to put the cutouts on the fabric and trace over them.
And then you will see that he will tap the block onto the surface of the of the ink tray. He will not push the block into the color, but he'll just tap it on the surface. Then align it on the fabric. Make a fist with his other hand and stamp on the block, and that will transfer the ink onto the fabric. He is just eyeballing the distance between the two stamps. So once he's finished printing, we're going to keep the fabric in the sun for like 5 minutes. You can also use a hair dryer to dry this ink before you begin to trace your outline of the animal. So he's just keeping the fabric in the sun for 2 minutes. And until then, if anyone has any questions, you can put it in the chat box.
Are you able to hear me? Great. So in the meantime, I'll just give you a little bit of overview of what we are doing at Studio Bagru. So we have 3 different verticals. Our first vertical is retail, which is our shop in Jaipur. Rajshri, maybe if you can hear me, you can just show the camera around the shop a little. We have all sorts of different products, home textiles, apparels, accessories, bags for sale, both in our workshop and in Bagru. Our second vertical is wholesale, which is custom block printing for retailers and designers around the world. And people can reach out to us. And okay, I'll just turn my video on here. So we work with a range of different designers around the world, textile designers that are doing fashion, accessories, wholesale, and our third vertical is education, which is our workshops. We offer 1-day, 2-day, and extended workshops for guests that want to visit us in Bagru and learn more about block printing in a deeper dive. So it appears that now the fabric is ready, and we'll go back to Rajshri here.
So we've just folded the fabric over, so we get 2 cutouts for the elephant, the front and the back. He's just folded over the fabric. He's going to place the template on there now and trace it with a pen. Now he will trace the ear. And then cut around these lines to get 2 pieces each of the elephant and 4 pieces for the ears. Give it to cutting. Okay, so we have the outline for the elephant. Like you saw, take your time with it, make it nice and clean. Now we're going to put buttons on either side of the face of the elephant to make the eyes. You have to do that first before you start the stuffing. So we'll begin with the buttons for the eyes. बताना पड़ेगा नीचे का कैसे ये कैसे लगा
All right, so we have a question here. Can toy making give a slice of life to Indian traditional crafts on a consistent basis? I definitely believe that toy making can give a slice of life to Indian traditional crafts on a consistent basis. This is an incredibly experiential learning activity for youngsters, and it educates them about the breadth of knowledge that's available in India regarding crafts. Block printing is just one craft that we see can be used to incorporate this toy making and get the children excited about the crafts. Our idea is that these workshops can be held on a monthly basis. We can be sponsored like institutions, Swarnam Startup and Innovation University, who is responsible for helping to bring us to this Ahmedabad Design Week. And we can host these types of workshops across India virtually now. Everybody's doing virtual workshops. And no matter where you are located, you can take part in these workshops. It looks like we have one more question. While block printing, after the artist removed the stamp, while stamping again, it's approximation, or the block has markings to keep stamps aligned and on specific distance while restamping. Certain blocks have a alignment. Those are more complicated blocks. The block that Anup is using does not have one of these alignment points. That's because it's called what is a half drop. So you can see that the block fits right next to itself in the space on the left and right side and the top and the bottom, as Rajshri is pointing out there. And so this is kind of looking like a checkerboard pattern. Other blocks that have touching repeats, they will have points that help connect. So here we go. We are now going to create the gusset at the bottom of the elephant. Rajshri, you can, yeah.
Okay, so we're now going to make this this part of the elephant, which will make it a 3D toy rather than a flat one. So Anup will now show you how to draw this part out. So he's tracing just the bottom bit of it.
Yes, so as you can see, he's using the legs part of the cutout, and he's tracing from the top of the legs around the bottom, around the stomach of the elephant, and up to the neck of the elephant. And then he flips the elephant 180 degrees, and he's doing the same on the back. So we'll see once he removes this, the both top and the bottom are connected, and it'll create a gusset for the bottom of the elephant.
कहाँ से चालू करो वो बताओ. So as you can see on the camera, Sushila ji has started stitching the elephant, and she's going to begin from the trunk of the elephant.
Rajshri, maybe you can have Sushila come.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Perfect. So this is just a overhand stitch that she's doing. We'll have the template and the instructions available on our website after the workshop is over, so that you'll be able to view this afterwards. And we'll have a couple instructional videos about how to do the stitching and how to do the cutting. And then Ahmedabad Design Week will also have this video uploaded on the YouTube channel, so you can review it and use it to help you. In the background there, Anup is cutting out the ears, or sorry, the gusset, I think. The ears have already been cut out.
Yeah, the ears are here. We have 4 of them.
So those ears, those 2 pieces will be stitched together for one ear, and then 2 more will be stitched together for the other ear. And then those will be stitched to the main elephant at the top.
So they'll be stitched together like this.
Those have already been stitched, yeah.
So we're now starting the stuffing of the elephant. She's stitched the bottom part of the trunk, started from the bottom part of the trunk and gone on up till the top of the trunk. And now with the help of a big needle, he's stuffing the trunk part of the elephant with the cotton. You can use scrap fabric or newspaper or any other thing. Make sure you're pushing the stuffing right up to the edge of the trunk. And now we will continue stitching the elephant up till the head. यहाँ तक लगाएगा? यहाँ तक लगा के फिर stuffing करेंगे।
जाके पता नहीं रहेगा।
Okay, so are you all able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Jeremy.
Okay, great. So in the meantime, while we're finishing this stitching here, I just wanted to take a minute and talk a little bit more about the Studio Bagru. So during the lockdown, we took that opportunity to reevaluate our model. And we realized that it was necessary to have an emergency fund for the artisans. So what we did is we immediately reached out to our, let's see if the video is switching on here. Sorry about that. Trying to get the video. Can you see me or not?
Not yet.
No, we cannot see you.
I'm not sure why it's not turning on, but I'll just, as long as you can hear me, I guess that should be okay for now. So we started an emergency fund for the artisans in Bagru, and are you still able to hear me?
Yes.
So we started an emergency fund, and we immediately reached out to all of our supporters around the world in almost 30 different countries to see if they could help support us during the lockdown, because we stopped our entire production. Many orders were canceled. And so all of the artisans that we work with were out of work. And so we were able to raise almost 3 months' salary for the artisans that we work with, and we distributed that to them immediately. After that, we realized that there was a need for the masks. And so we began producing 5,000 masks to distribute in Bagru to help prevent the spread of the coronavirus. And we gave these out for free to anybody that wanted them. And then finally, once we realized that the masks were also necessary around the entire world, we began making masks for people to purchase online. And we still have these masks available. If people want to purchase them, they can visit studiobagru.com and they'll see a link to these masks available. So another project that we're working on now is something called Magilla Print. So Magilla Print is a new initiative that we're created with women artisans in Bagru in order to encourage Indigenous design and promote hand block printing. So we work with designers from around the world, creating unique designs with the women in Bagru. And Rajshri, maybe you can send a link to mahilaprint.com there in the chat.
Yeah.
And this offers a unique opportunity to co-design with artisans in Bagru. So quick little interlude as we look, Anup is now about to stitch the gusset on the bottom of the elephant to make the 3D effect. So that piece that he had cut out before will finish the underneath part of the trunk. And then we'll move this forward to the gusset part. And Rajshri, maybe you can show the finished piece just to show what it looks like as Anup is finishing that part there.
This is the gusset part.
So while Anup is doing that, Rajshri, why don't you give us just a quick tour around the studio?
Sure.
If you just walk slowly so that the video will catch, yes. These are some of the artists that we work with in Bagru. Some block printed cushion covers and bags. We have kaftans, palazzo pants, hats, bags, even some Rajasthani handicrafts like puppets. Here's a collection of the blocks that we have. We also offer these blocks for sale for people that want to block print at home. They can reach out to us and we will create custom blocks for you. All you need to do is send your design and we'll have those made for you. And here we can see some of the apparels, kaftans. Here we have the kurtas and jackets. And here's some fabrics. So back to the topic of toy making, we'll see that actually toy making has a very old history in India. A lot of the original toys were made from wooden, carved wooden figurines, as well as these stuffed animals. If you want, Rajshri, you can bring one of the puppets over to the table. We'll just show one of the puppets. Puppets are another craft that has a very old history in India, especially in Jaipur. Puppets were used as entertainment, not just toys. And maybe in a future workshop, we'll describe how to make puppets and the clothing for puppets. So the toy making that we're doing is very easy for anybody to do at home. Even if you don't have blocks to print on the fabric, you can use old fabric or scrap fabric. Download our template.
Your voice is cracking. Jeremy, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I was just saying that you can use any sort of animal that you like. You can even create your own template. If you have a favorite animal or you have a favorite object, you can just draw that object onto the fabric. and create a template for the toy. Here, there, Rajshri is showing a camel. That's a little bit more advanced template, but you can see it follows the same idea. Here's a larger elephant. So if you want to use a freehand drawing technique, you can also draw a larger elephant onto the fabric, cut that out, and stitch the 3 pieces together. So there we see the finished product. I know that we might be coming to the end of our session here. The only thing missing on that finished product, maybe Rajshri, you can hold the ears on the top to show what it would look like if the ears were stitched to the top there.
Do you want us to stitch the ears first on this one?
Yeah, why don't we stitch the ears to that one? Maybe Sushila can do that.
हाँ यहाँ लगाओ ऊपर से सिलाई कर दो मैं फिर
So as Anup finishes the stitching there, you'll see that he's leaving a section of the elephant open. That's because the stuffing will be put into the elephant there, just at the end of, now he'll cut the thread here.
we have the ear for the elephant now.
Perfect. So you can see it has a nice ear there with the block print on it. So as I mentioned, toys in India have an extensive history. dating back almost 5,000 years. There's been excavation of toys and dolls found in Harappa and the Mohenjo-Daro that included small carts and dancing figurines and other types of toys. So over the years now, in the more modern history, there has been an increase in these custom-made toys, the stuffed toys, the fabric textile toys, dolls, and puppets as such. So now you can see Anup is going to start filling the...
First, the tail.
Go ahead, Rajshri.
So he's going to put the stuffing first in the tail and then use that big needle to push the cotton inside. So you want the tiny pieces to be filled in first and then the whole of the elephant.
Anup, why don't you come a little bit closer to the camera? So you can see he uses the, he has a little steel pointer there. It's actually a large needle that can be used to stick the stuffing into the areas. And again, I just wanted to mention a big special thank you to Swarnam Startup and Innovation University for helping to bring us to the Ahmedabad Design Week. And thank you so much to Ahmedabad Design Week and the organizers for putting together such an amazing virtual event. There's plenty of programming for those of you that are watching now. You can check back into the different halls for the different exhibitors. Lots of exhibitors and amazing content for you to see. So once the stuffing has almost been finished there. Anup's cutting one of the threads. He'll begin stitching the final pieces together.
Uh, Hi, Jeremy. So, if I can just take some time to answer a question, to just add to your answer to the question that was discussed earlier, whether toy making can be a good, you can give a slice of life to the Indian traditional craft. So, I think. Of course, Jeremy covered all the bases there, but one particular aspect that perhaps we can add to it is there will be a huge demand in terms of how India is a young country. So we'll have a demand of a lot of stuffed toys for the next 20-25 years, definitely. And with the rise of promotion of Atmanirbharta or promotion of indigenous values from the current government and even the mood of the Indian public going back towards our roots and traditions. So I think this can serve as a very good alternate revenue mechanism for the Indian traditional crafts, where they are not just dependent on textile or fashion sector, but they have added another lifestyle or another, you can say, a toy design realm to their revenue generating mechanism. So if you can just shed some light on this as well, Jeremy, from your end. Do you think this feasibility is possible?
Yes, great point there, Prabodh. As you mentioned, India is such a young country that it does present a lot of opportunity for a huge market for toys and toy making. This is something that can be undertaken by any household in India. It doesn't matter where you're located. Everybody has access to some extra fabric, thread, and needle. And using these simple ingredients, as we've demonstrated here today, it's fairly easy to create a stuffed animal or a stuffed object toy. And these toys, if they're developed properly, can also provide a source of income for people across India. Nowadays, I think people have started looking towards the handicraft, started looking to handmade, started looking to support cottage industries across India. So it does create a unique opportunity for those around India to create these sort of products.
We also have a question from one of our audience members. So he's asking, he or she is asking, will there be a demand for indigenous stuffed toys in the global organized retail?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty incredible what's happening in the global organized retail sector as we speak. The evolved model that has kind of overpowered for the last 2 or 3 decades is not working anymore. people are looking for alternative models, alternative sources of products. And so these sort of stuffed toys also present a very unique opportunity because people want, like I mentioned, handmade, handcrafted. They want to support Indigenous communities. So using the right platforms, whether it's online or offline, we would be able to find the market for these goods around the world. I think that there is a little bit of a learning curve that has to be presented. But then once the international market is aware of these items, I think it'll present a huge opportunity. So as we finish here, Anup is just putting the finishing touches on the elephant. You can see this is a little bit of the trickier part. We just need to stuff the animal in all the right places. So he's using that larger steel needle to poke the stuffing in the legs, near the trunk, and that gives it the shape, the necessary shape. So just taking a little bit at a time, being patient with it, you can see that it'll start to take shape there. Are there any more questions out there? We'd love to hear from the viewers. You can just message us in the chat if you have any questions about the toy making. Those were very insightful questions that we heard from. If you have any questions about the materials or about the work that we're doing, about block printing, we'll be happy to answer.
I think we have picked up all the questions that were asked. So as of now, there are no unanswered questions here.
So the final step, you can see we'll just take that thread, and we are also pushing the stuffing around so that it's evenly distributed inside of the elephant. Now we are getting the final opening. We'll close that up with the needle and thread. A little bit of teamwork here is making the toy come together, bringing life to the elephant, you could say. And once the entire elephant is stitched close, we'll just tie a little bit of a knot there. And I think Anup will just use his hands to push the stuffing evenly throughout. And now we can see here just a little bit of extra moving around the stuffing here.
We can also close the ends of the legs once all the stuffing has been moved around to your liking, and then just put a stitch at the end of the legs, and that will complete your elephant.
You can see Anup actually twists the stuffing around the needle there in order to get it inside there, just twisting it and then squeezing with his thumb and index finger. So we're just going to wind up this session now. We're putting the finishing touches there on that elephant that we've made. Rajshri, why don't you show the pre-made elephant one more time? And we'll show you, there you see, the finished elephant with the ears. Yep, and the gusset on the bottom. And you can make this too at your home. It'll be available at the Studio Bagru website, the template. You can also view it on, I believe the YouTube video will be out. We'll put the two elephants together there and maybe we can get a zoomed up picture of them together. The elephant family. So a quick thank you again to Ahmedabad Design Week, as well as Swarnam Startup and Innovation University. Thanks to Rajshri, Anup, and Sushila from Studio Bagru. Hi. Thank you so much. And I guess we'll bring it back to the host to wrap it up.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabodh from Swarnim Startup and Innovation University for organizing such a wonderful workshop. And I also like to thank you, Jeremy and a team, for your impressive workshop, which perfectly iterates the idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat, as well as vocal for local. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for such an exciting workshop.
Thank you so much also.
Thank you, Dempsey, and thank you, Jeremy. Okay.
Thank you.